All right, so WISSARD is a project that is designed to get access to the bottom of the Antarctic ice sheet. Now, if you know anything about the Antarctic, or maybe not, the Antarctic is about 1.5 times the size of the US and is covered with an ice sheet that is 1 to 2 miles thick. And so what we are trying to do is melt a hole through that ice sheet and get to the bottom and explore environments that nobody else has seen and trying to understand what is going on underneath the ice sheet. So what WISSARD is doing is building instruments and all sorts of heavy equipment we need to melt a hole. So we collect a whole bunch of snow on top of the Antarctic ice sheet, melt that up to steam heat, and then pump that really hot water down a fire hose that then melts a hole through the ice sheet for us. And then what we do is put scientific instruments through that hole and go exploring. And what's exciting is that not only are we finding out important scientific information, but we're exploring new worlds that nobody's seen before. So far we found a lake that is underneath the ice sheet that is sort of like any other lake here, but it doesn't have big organisms in it. However, it does have small organisms that nobody has seen before, bacteria that are living in the water about half a mile deep underneath the ice. So that's something really new for the whole world that we didn't know before. And then what we had just done this past Christmas time was make a hole into the ocean underneath the ice sheet. And the ocean that we went into is underneath about a half a mile thickness of ice that is floating over the ocean. And that location is about 560 miles away from open ocean because it's under a big slab of floating ice that's about a half a mile thick. And that big slab of ice is about the size of Spain. And what we found was a community living right there underneath the ice sheet, just as it's going afloat into the ocean, and 560 miles away from the open ocean. The area that was on the sea floor looks just like a lunar landing, basically. When we put our instruments down, we saw pretty much a rocky bottom that then, when we landed, gave off a puff of smoke, or actually a puff of mud, and then we saw fish swimming around in that environment, which was a huge shock to us all. So I'm a scientist, but our work to do that sort of exploration requires a lot of engineering and a lot of mathematics to work with the information and data that we collect once we get our instruments into the water, and the technology that is needed to, say, develop the all of the steam heating and heating up of the snow into water and so on, involves a wide spectrum of expertise that is really fun to work with, to integrate these different disciplines and then start exploring these brand new worlds that have never been explored right here on Earth.